Alright, hey guys, so as of this recording, exactly 1 month from today, the Nintendo 3DS will be launching in North America. It's already just released in Japan, and it'll be out in Europe on March 25th and March 27th in the US. So I thought it would be a lot of fun because I don't know if I've really mentioned this on my YouTube channel before. I know I've mentioned it on my podcast, but I am extremely excited for the Nintendo 3DS. And this is one way I'm going to start getting myself really hyped for this, in that I figured I'd make a top 10 launch title games that I'm looking forward to and anticipating the most for the US launch. Now, you just got to know a couple of things about this list. I'm only including day 1 launch titles, so that means if a game comes out a couple of days after launch day, I am not including it in the list. So you're not going to see any Zeldas or Star Foxes or anything like that in here. This is also going to be only US launch titles. So there were a couple of games that I were looking forward to that aren't coming out in the US right away, especially that Rabbids Travel in Time game. That looks like a great platformer. Unfortunately, that's not a launch game in the US while it is in Europe. So the list might be a little bit different from, different countries, but this is the US day 1 only launch titles. So let me get started here. Coming in at number 10 for my most anticipated 3DS game is Super Street Fighter 4 3D Edition. Now, before all of you start crying, "But Pete, I thought you hated Street Fighter 4. Let me just say that out of the 18 launch titles that are going to be available for the 3DS in the US, I had a hard time picking number 10, and out of the choices that I had left, this one made the most sense to me. The 3DS version is going to simplify the moves a little bit. They're going to let you map certain combos to the touchscreen, which will be pretty cool. There's new viewing angles. Of course, it's Super Street Fighter instead of Street Fighter 4, so it's going to be new characters that I didn't get to play as last time. It has online mode, and visually it's a showcase for the 3DS. So for my number 10, I picked that just as sort of a showcase, and who knows, maybe I'll really get into it. It's got online. Maybe I'll play some of you guys sometime. Coming in at number 9 is Bust-A-Move Universe. Now, I'm picking this up mainly because it's going to be the only true puzzle game that's going to be available for the 3DS at launch. I've never been a huge Bust-A-Move fan. I have played the games in the past, but I wouldn't call myself a fanatic in any way. I mean, this is one title where I'd say I'm really buying into the hype of the 3DS. I'm buying it for being able to look at the 3D in a puzzle game. As strange as that sounds, you guys can't tell, I'm really excited for the 3DS, so I'm going to be buying a lot of titles. And Bust-A-Move Universe, I'll tell you, if this game came out 2 years after the 3DS launch, I probably wouldn't give a crap about it. But since it's a day 1 launch title, I'm kind of buying into that. But who knows, maybe it'll be a really fun game. Number 8 is one that I'm really glad that I looked into a little bit more, and that's Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Shadow Wars. Very little information is known about this game, and a couple of the titles on this list, there really isn't that much media out there for it. There's only like one short gameplay video for Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon. Not too many screenshots out there, but what it is, it's a overhead tactical strategy game, which is, the creators are comparing it to Advance Wars and such. So you're going to have different classes on your team. There's going to be 6 different classes, and you basically make your way through this campaign. Unfortunately, there's no online mode. There's a form of multiplayer, in local multiplayer, where you actually pass the console between 2 players to play, so you kind of take turns, but it looks really interesting. The maps look really large and diverse from what I've seen of it, and I'm really interested in seeing how a tactical game that's being compared to Advance Wars will be on the 3DS, so who knows, it could be really the sleeper hit of the 3DS launch that really not too many people pick up. Coming in at number 7 is Asphalt 3D. I don't care what anybody says about the first one. When the Nintendo DS launched in America, Asphalt Racing was actually one of my favorite launch titles. There wasn't much to choose from on the DS back then, but I actually really enjoyed it. It reminded me a lot of Ridge Racer. It's a fast-paced, very colorful, arcadey racer that takes you to a lot of different locations, and that's what I'm most excited for with Asphalt 3D, is that it's taking you to 18 different diverse locations. The game really looks great. It seems like it might have some slowdown issues, but I'm a fan of arcade racers like this, and I'm definitely looking forward to Asphalt 3D. Number 6 is Samurai Warriors Chronicles. This one I actually moved up a spot or 2 on my list because I just found out, and it's not confirmed, the information is really kind of sparse on this game, there might be an online co-op mode, and for those of you that don't know what Samurai Warriors is, it's basically a spin-off of the Dynasty Warriors series. It's a beat 'em up hack and slash kind of game where you're killing hundreds of enemies at once, doing crazy combos. It's just really over the top. And I played Samurai Warriors 2 on the 360, and I really enjoyed that. So I am looking forward to this, whereas this one, I've really fallen off touch with the Dynasty Warriors and Samurai Warriors series. I don't really play a lot of them. But from what I understand, this one is introducing, I'm not sure if this is new to the series, I could be wrong, but you can switch between 4 different commanders on the map at once. So sort of instead of just using 1 per campaign map, you can switch between 4 on the fly to take control of the different points on the map. But the online co-op, if that is in the game, I can't really find solid info of it being confirmed. If that is in the campaign, I would say maybe bump this one up one more on the list. The co-op campaign, there's not too much information, so it's not sure, you know, if you'll control just 1 character, if you'll control all 4. Not really sure, but I'm looking forward to that, because not a lot of 3DS games are launching with online play. Number 5 is Super Monkey Ball 3D. I have only played Super Monkey Ball 1. I have not played Super Monkey Ball 2 or any of the ones on the Wii or the DS, but I am looking forward to this because I absolutely love the first Monkey Ball. I don't know why, I just haven't really gotten into any of the other ones in the series. But this one, for those of you that don't know what Super Monkey Ball is, basically you're a monkey in a ball, obviously, and you have to navigate through these maze-like, they're not really mazes anymore, they've kind of changed the way the series has gone, but the levels are basically an obstacle course that's similar to, say, think Marble Blast Ultra on the 360, a little bit of maybe Marble Madness, or if you've played the Mercury games on the Wii, or the PSP, think of it that way. You navigate this ball over an obstacle course and you try and make it to the end of the level. But what Super Monkey Ball 3D is introducing is also, it's going to be 3 games in one. It's going to be a kart racer, a fighting game that's being compared to the style of, say, Super Smash Bros. We have 4 players fighting at once. And of course the traditional Super Monkey Ball navigating the mazes. So definitely looking forward to that. Coming in at number 4 is Steel Diver. I believe this might be the best game from the 3DS launch that not a lot of people pick up. It's basically going to be not a simulator, it's going to be a strategy game, but not in the sense that you're moving around a grid. You're basically controlling a submarine with different switches. The bottom screen acts as your hub, so you control how fast you move, if you're going forward, backwards, what trajectory you're moving at, how you fire your missiles, and basically you're trying to get from point A to point B through the course under the water. And it seems really challenging from what I've seen. It looks like it could be a lot of fun, and the mode that I'm most excited for is the one that uses the cameras on the 3DS, where you're in first person mode, and you actually have to move the 3DS around, and you probably have to sit in a chair because you have to turn 360 degrees, and as you're turning with your 3DS, the game itself is moving. It's like you're looking through the binoculars of the submarines. So, and you're firing missiles and trying to shoot down the enemy submarines. From watching, looking at screenshots, it probably looks pretty boring, and some of the gameplay might be a little boring, but to me, it looks like a sleeper hit that could become definitely a lot of, it could become really addictive. Number 3, I'm really excited this is coming to the US launch because it wasn't in Japan and I was a little bit worried, and that's Rayman 3D. This is going to be a port of the Dreamcast version, from what I'm reading, of Rayman 2, The Great Escape. I played that game a long time ago, and I'm really looking forward to playing through it in 3D. They're introducing some gameplay improvements to the camera, and I think they might be adding like 1 or 2 new things to the game. I'm not sure exactly, because this game absolutely has, from right now of this recording, no gameplay whatsoever that I can find. Just a couple of screenshots. But hey, an updated version of Rayman 2, one of the best platformers from the past generation, 10 years I should say. I'm definitely looking forward to it. And number 2, this would be my number 1, but unfortunately it's missing a essential gameplay element to it, and that is Ridge Racer. Ridge Racer 3D. The reason why it's not number 1 is because it does not have online play. This was my most anticipated 3DS title for the longest time because I absolutely love the Ridge Racer series, especially thanks to Ridge Racer 6. But Ridge Racer on a handheld with no online, they really missed a great opportunity there. So I'm definitely looking forward to playing these in 3D. It's going to be basically a rehash of a lot of the older courses. From what I'm reading, only 20% of the courses are going to be brand new. The rest of them are going to be used from pre-existing courses in the franchise. But I'm all for it. Ridge Racer, bring it on. What can I say? And coming in at number 1 is Pilotwings. Originally, I really wasn't looking forward to Pilotwings too much, but I watched some gameplay, and I listened to people's feedback, and supposedly this game takes advantage of the 3DS's 3D capabilities the most. It doesn't use the cameras in any sort of way. It's all just, just the 3D. It doesn't use anything else that the 3DS can do. But it looks gorgeous, and the thing is, I've never played a Pilotwings before. As hard as that might be for you guys to believe, I've never played Pilotwings on the Super Nintendo or Pilotwings 64, so I'm really looking forward to giving Pilotwings a try, or Pilotwings Resort a try on the 3DS. It looks amazing, and if it can show off the 3D capabilities the best out of all the games that launch, I'm all for it. Is the 3D a gimmick? Who knows? I have not played the 3DS yet, but just based on what I've heard, it's really phenomenal, and this is just my beginning of hyping myself up, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Go ahead and leave a comment below. You guys can give me your top 10, your top 5, or just even your number 1 title that you're looking forward to the most for the 3DS launch, no matter what country you're from. If you're in Europe, hey, go ahead and throw out the Europe releases on there as well. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I can't wait to review some of these games for you come March.